Now you might read this title and think I'm questioning if anxiety is even real, like I'm some villain off a Darman video. But pay attention to which word I specifically capitalized. Now you might be saying, Philosophy Tunes, what are you talking about? Of course I have anxiety, I even may be professionally diagnosed. But what I'm really asking about is the authentic you. Should anxiety be considered a part of who you really are? Let me use an example to highlight what I mean. You're at your high school homecoming. Red Solo cup in hand, Cupid Shuffle playing in the background, and you see your crush across the room. You approach them, talk to them, dance with them, start dating them, get married, and live happily ever after. But let's be real, that's probably not what happened. In actuality, you probably saw them, got too anxious to go up to them, and that moment just fades into history. Now we got these two scenarios here. Which one do you think best represents the most authentic version of yourself? The person who goes up to their crush, or the person whose anxiety holds them back? Put another way, what we desire gives us a window into who we are authentically, doing what we want to do. We're considered more authentic with our friends when we can be ourselves, as opposed to when we're meeting our partner's parents for the first time. But anxiety gets in the way of us doing what we want to do. Therefore, which is more authentic? Us without anxiety, or us with anxiety? Let's take a look at both sides of the argument. On one side, anxiety has definitely shaped many of our lives. We've had to make sacrifices and big lifestyle changes in order to accommodate this unwanted presence, and we continue to wake up with it some mornings. So maybe it does make sense to consider anxiety to be a part of the more authentic us, because of its impact on our lives. On the flip side, imagine some idealized other version of yourself free from anxiety. Like look back on your life and imagine that all the times anxiety has prevented you from doing something, it wasn't there. What would your life look like if you followed through on all those desires without the restraints of anxiety? Would you have followed through on your dreams, your life goals? Would this non-anxiety version of yourself be doing what you truly wished in your heart that you would be doing? That's the question I've been grappling with recently. Which version of yourself is the more authentic? Now, as a pragmatist, let's look at the practical consequences of each belief. Let's say that you view the non-anxiety version of yourself as the more authentic. If that's the case, what's the life that you're living right now? You're not living as yourself authentically. You're waking up and putting on some sort of costume to go out in the world as some fake person. I could see this being pretty depressing. You might think, what would that non-anxious, authentic version of myself be doing now? They'd probably be at my dream job with my dream partner. They may find themselves in a beautiful house with a beautiful wife, and they may ask themselves, well, how did I get here? They didn't get here as a result of anxiety, I'll tell you that. So yeah, taking this position might practically result in some depressing thoughts. Are there any positives to this belief though? Well, maybe it might encourage someone to work towards that more authentic, non-anxious version of yourself. It might be unobtainable because we can't fully rid ourselves of our anxiety, but it might be a good goal that could result in progress for ourselves. Now to the flip side, believing that your authentic self does contain anxiety. This perspective could be defeating, like hey, you're stuck with this thing. But maybe it could also be accepting, like coming to peace with the fact that you have this thing and it's gonna play a role in your life. And you're not living some false life, you're not masquerading around, but rather, you're doing the best you can with the cards that you were dealt. I guess you'd have to ask yourself if you'd feel defeated by this fact or come to terms with it. If you see your authentic self as having anxiety, does that thought depress you? Or are you able to say, okay, this is the way things are and I didn't have a say in it, but this is my life, and I need to make lifestyle changes to accommodate this part of me. So those are our two options, viewing the authentic version of yourself with anxiety or without. I'd strongly encourage each of you to comment below what you think about all this. As for me, I think I lean towards viewing my authentic self as having anxiety. Sure, it prevents me from doing things I want to do in life, but maybe that risk assessment and worst case scenario thinking is who I am, and that's okay. Anyways, thanks for watching. I know this isn't my usual philosophy content, but it goes along with my last video on anxiety. If you want that philosophy content, then be sure to subscribe, like, and hit the bell. And with that, I wish you all a beautiful rest of your day.